All right, we go on to the recap for the 5AD2 District 10.
5AD2 District 10.
Yes. This is, like we said, all the teams that play pretty much close in comparison, except Brenham. Lake Creek got a bye week 10. But we're going to just go off to the first one. Rudder at Randall. Now, Rudder is like 0-5, was 0-5 in district, and they played Randall 2-3. We pretty much, what did we call? What did we say? I think I said by 21. By 21, by
right.
14-21. And they ended up winning by 32.
Okay, that's fair.
And you said, I think 14.
Yeah.
On that. Randall won 53-21. So we have Ramirez over there at Rudder. He was 14 for 24 with 252 yards, 3 TDs and 1 interception.
Okay.
And then Garza. We thought
Leo Garza.
No, we thought he was gonna put it up, but he was 9 for 18, which is 500
right.
for 105 yards. Yes.
What?
Only 2 TDs. You know what happened? And this been happening in the last. This Randall team was a little bit different. This running back came back, Zion Lewis. 23 carries for 201 yards, 2 TDs. He's been running a lot lately.
So say that one more time. How many? What?
Zion Lewis, 23 carries, 201 yards for 2 TDs.
Well, that was average almost 9 yards.
9 yards a game.
Yeah.
8.9, 8.
Wow, so they running that thing.
They running it. They've been running it the last couple games
so
since
now
he's
they can
returned.
run and they can throw, but
yes.
So they started leaning heavy on the run.
Right, and then something else that was pretty impressive. And they had 15 players in rotation for tackles, and not only like 1 or 2 tackles. They always like 3, 5, 7, 8.
Oh, so they get to the ball.
Oh yeah, 15 players. Wow. So that means they rotating a lot in. And they all getting active. And they had a lot of losses.
So they ate Rudder alive.
Yeah.
Good deal.
They had a lot of tackle for losses.
I mean, at this point, Rudder's like 0-6.
Yeah, Rudder out of it. We looking at, it's going to be out of Randall, Huntsville, and Montgomery. Those are the 3 competing. They all came into this 2-3. So the next game we're going to highlight is Brenham and Huntsville. Huntsville was at Brenham. That's hard. You know, and Huntsville just came off that Lake Creek effect. You know, it's hard after you play Lake Creek because they're so physical. I said 21-30. That's pretty much what we both said. The total was 31 Brenham, 17 Huntsville. They only lost by 14. It was more competitive than we thought. You know, they had 20. Well, you said, I take it back. You said 7-14. So you was closer than me on this one. Brenham had 20 first downs, and Huntsville had 17 first downs. I mean, they both had 53 plays.
We've already said, man, they're very similar teams.
Yeah, very similar. You know, Wooten was 9 for 15, 148 yards. That's Brenham's quarterback.
Right. And
he ran for 68 yards. So his passing was much lower than it normally is. He usually averaged about 200 yards passing. So,
we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean.
So Brenham is still undefeated. Looking at what, 5-0 in district now.
There you go.
Along with Lake Creek.
There you go.
Next week.
We'll talk about next week.
Next week.
In a little while.
Oh yeah. So we looking forward to that one. The next game in 5AD2 District 10, Week 10. Montgomery at Lamar Consolidated at Montgomery.
Right.
Lamar Consolidated, I want to say they were 2-4. No. They were 1-4. Were they 2-4?
2-4. Well, they were 2-3.
They 2-3.
They were 2-3.
They were 2-3. Yeah, so it was a bunch of 2-3.
Right, there were a bunch of 2-3s last week.
So they finished off 2-4 now, because Montgomery won 21-7. I said +7. Who did you call?
Montgomery.
He had Montgomery by probably 14.
I think so.
Yeah. So what happened was
Mm-hmm.
too much Reggie Wait.
Of course, man.
I mean, he was 9 for 14 with 128 yards and 3 TDs, and he ran for 81 yards. We know he averaging almost 100 yards, so that's a little bit below his rushing average.
When Reggie's numbers are up, and that kid on the other side of Mason White, when his numbers are up, Montgomery's gonna have a very
Mason White had his average. 15 tackles, man. He's amazing.
He's a monster, man.
15 tackles.
He's a monster. He could definitely play at any school and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And watch this. Lamar consolidated. Guess how many passing yards they had? It's in the books. Numbers don't lie. It's in the books. 17 passing yards. 2 for 8 for 17 yards.
You can't win with that.
You cannot win like that. Now, the quarterback rushed for 109 yards along with Jay McCullough. He rushed for 144. So they had 253 yards rushing. But their total offense was 287.
Well, that's not good. That's less than 300.
Right. Well, Montgomery didn't have a lot of total offense.
That's like 3 scores.
336.
So what was the score?
21-7. Montgomery. Yeah.
That's not a lot.
So it's pretty much how we called it. That's pretty much how we called it in the 5AD2 District 10. And that's our recap for week 10. And as we ended,
We can't even make this stuff up, man. I mean, it's just kind of the way it goes.
and so you have those 3 teams that's vying for 3rd and 4th place. That district is pretty much, to me, they all the same. They so close in comparison. There's only one runaway, and that's Lake Creek.
All right.
So
Well,
numbers don't lie, people do. Peace.